Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Jayam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Diri Nashtavrayeshu Avatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, text 25 onwards. So Krishna spoke about last time about different demigods and those who worship them. They don't have good intelligence and other things. And then now he's talking about himself. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samamrita modoyam na vijanati loko mamajam avyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and inexhaustible. So previous verses says those who worship the demigods, they have less intelligence, or they have less intelligence. And now he's saying those who are foolish and unintelligent, I don't reveal myself, I don't manifest myself to them. Purport. It may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the assembly of Kurus, when Shishupal spoke against Krishna as being elected president of the assembly, Bhishma supported him. Bhishma supported Krishna, and proclaimed him to be the supreme God. Similarly, the Pandavas and a few others knew that he was the supreme, but not everyone. So just by seeing him, and even though people were there talking to him directly, Duryodhana was there talking to him directly, they didn't understand his position. He was not revealed to the non-devotees and the common man. So obviously he's going to limit himself to only his devotees, those who want to know him. It's like not just knowing, even seeing Prime Minister Modi. If somebody wants to see him in his office, do you think it is that easy? We can just walk in his office? No. So when it is so difficult to see Modi or in America, Biden, how difficult it must be to see Krishna, to sit with him, to chat with him, to know him properly. That is even further. So that's why I said those who are unintelligent, those who are foolish, they don't know me. Foolish doesn't mean in the sense no education foolish. Foolish means those who are not devotees. In earlier words, he said, no? Chaturvita bhajante mam. But prior to that, these four kinds of people, they don't surrender unto me. And if they don't surrender, Krishna is not bound to reveal himself to them. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. He was manifest only to his devotees as the reservoir of all pleasure. But to others, to unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his internal potency. And he is covered by his internal potency. Yogamaya Samavrita. Krishna says that. It doesn't say Mahamaya Samavrita. Because Krishna personally cannot be covered by Mahamaya. What is Mahamaya in front of Krishna? Nothing. So he is covered by Yogamaya. So people, especially with material vision, material consciousness, they cannot understand him, cannot see. Even if they see him, they cannot understand him. So many people come every day to all these different temples of Krishna. They visit every day. How many of them know him? They treat him just like any other Devi Devta, demigod. And what do we ask? Just to get some material benefits. But Krishna is much more than a demigod. In the prayers of Kunti in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the Lord is covered by the curtain of Yogamaya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. This Yogamaya curtain is also confirmed in Ishopanishad, in which the devotee prays, Hiranyamayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham, tattvam pushan apavrinu satyadharmaya drishta. O my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe, and devotional service to you is the highest religious principle. Therefore, I pray that you'll also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered by the Yogamaya. The Brahmjyoti is the covering of the internal potency. May you kindly remove this glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing your Satchidananda Vigraha, your eternal form of bliss and knowledge. So in Ishopanishad, this is said that your face is covered, your transcendental form is covered by the Yogamaya. So please remove. So devotee is saying, even I am not able to remove this. I have no strength to remove this. But you please remove. First, our eyes are covered with Mahamaya, and Krishna is covered by Yogamaya. So that is why it's so difficult to understand him, to see him. But if he wants, he can remove everything, every covering. What's the problem for him? The Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form of bliss and knowledge is covered by the internal potency of the Brahmjyoti, and the less intelligent impersonalists cannot see the Supreme on this account. Also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a prayer by Brahma, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, O Master of all mystery, who can calculate your potency and pastimes in this world? You're always expanding your internal potency, and therefore no one can understand you. You're always expanding your internal potency. So how can we understand, even at the moment, whatever his glories are, whatever his qualities are, whatever his pastimes are, and then everything is increasing, always. So how to know it? Learned scientists and learned scholars can examine the atomic constitution of the material world or even the planets, but still they are unable to calculate your energy and potency, although you are present before them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is not only unborn, but also avyaya, inexhaustible. So inexhaustible means his energies don't go down. He doesn't, they don't reduce in potency, in quality, in numbers. In fact, they're always increasing. Our energies are going down every day. We are getting old and our body is slowing down, but not Krishna. It's hard, very difficult to understand that. Who is he? His eternal form is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are all inexhaustible. And his energies are all inexhaustible also. So further he says about himself, because this is the chapter is knowledge of the absolute. It's knowledge about Krishna. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjana bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschanam. O Arjun, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Now that is something. I mean, who can claim? People claim I am God, he is God, that is God. That is one of the qualities. Knows everything that has happened in the past. Everything means everything about everybody. All that is happening in the present means nothing is beyond him. He knows everything. He controls everything. He doesn't interfere with anybody's independence. Or he can interfere with devotees' independence if he wants to, but other regular common people, he doesn't interfere with it. But he knows what is happening, and he knows what is going to happen in the future also. But then the question arises, does that mean everything is destined? Because if he knows what is going to happen in the future, everything should be destined, then where is the question of independence? Well, he knows what we can do based on our capabilities in the future. And of course, he knows what's in our destiny also, but the destiny can be changed. And when we desire something that is not in our destiny, then he knows. So he knows everything. But he says, me, no one knows. So here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Krishna, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were Maya, material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Yeah, that's also the reason he knows, not the reason he is Supreme Lord, but the point is that when we change our body, we forget things. But Krishna doesn't change his body. He's inexhaustible, he's eternal. He would change his body and forget everything about his past life. If he was, just like impersonalists claim, his body is also made like us. We are all God, and he's just a historic personality, some say. No, he's Supreme Lord. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict what will happen in his present life. Therefore, he cannot know the events of past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. So, unless one is liberated from material contamination. So, when one is on the liberated platform, yes, then he can know. Also, then he can know to the extent Paramatma reveals to him. But we in the material body, struggling here, conditioned life, we cannot know. So based on our horoscope, uh, some people can claim they can read our horoscope and tell us our future. But how many of them can really read the horoscope and can really tell? They can only guess, speculate. That's about it. The future, only Krishna says he knows about everybody. Everybody means every living entity he knows. Unlike the ordinary human being, Lord Krishna clearly says that he completely knows what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and what will happen in the future. In the 4th chapter, we have seen that Lord Krishna remembers instructing Vivaswan, the sun god, millions of years ago. Krishna knows every living entity because he is situated in every living entity's heart as a super soul. But despite his presence in every living entity as super soul and his presence as the supreme personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the impersonal Brahman or Brahmjyoti, cannot realize Sri Krishna as a supreme person. So less intelligent cannot. Less intelligent means those who are still in the worldly concept of life and they want to enjoy this body, this material world, and for that they go to different demigods and ask for different benefits. They cannot know the Supreme Lord. Certainly the transcendental body of Shri Krishna is not perishable. He is just like the sun and Maya is like a cloud. In the material world, we can see that there is the sun and that there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The clouds may cover all these in the sky, but the clouds actually don't cover them in the sky. The clouds cover our limited vision. Actually. The sun, moon, and stars are not actually covered. Similarly, Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency, he is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men. As it is stated in the third verse of this chapter, out of millions of men, some try to become perfect in this human form of life. And out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what Lord Krishna is. So hardly one can understand. But then I think I also covered this at that time in the third verse. Manusyanam sahare sasreshu kasya dipti siddhai. Then if it is so difficult to know him, why try? It's almost impossible, right? Out of millions and millions of men, hardly one tries to, some try to become perfect. And out of thousands and thousands of such perfect men, hardly one can understand what Lord Krishna is. So I try. The odds are completely against us. Well, the answer, because this chapter, 7th chapter, and especially the beginning of 7th chapter, 3rd verse. First 6 chapters are Karma Yoga. 7 through 12 is Bhakti Yoga, and last 6 are Jnana Yoga. So Karma Yoga, one tries to achieve the Lord or understand him or make or try to perfect himself by his own efforts. So this is what it is, that by one's own efforts, out of millions and millions of men, some try to become perfect, and of thousands of them, one can know him on one's own efforts. But in 10th chapter, Krishna says, Tesham satatyuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Those who are trying to serve me with love and devotion, I give them the intelligence by which they come to me. It's a huge difference. On one's own, millions and millions can keep on trying, but hardly anybody can know him. But if somebody or anybody tries to serve him with love and devotion, Krishna says, I give him the intelligence. And when Krishna wants to make somebody intelligence or give him some intelligence, Krishna can do so unlimitedly. It's a huge difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So that is why Bhakti Yoga is more powerful, more sublime. And this is so. So here also, Krishna says that people don't know me. Who doesn't know him? Those who are unintelligent and foolish. And those who are intelligent, what do? They just surrender unto me. They serve me with love and devotion. And then they can know me because I give them the intelligence with which to know me. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna, without being in Krishna consciousness. So without being in Krishna consciousness, one cannot know him. So it sounds like going round and round. How can one be in Krishna consciousness without knowing him? And then one, when he is in Krishna consciousness, then one can know him. Well, it is called like a round logic. So like Rupa Goswami has given the steps, Ado Shraddha. The progress in bhakti starts with Shraddha. Shraddha, some curiosity about to know him. And then comes Sadhu Sangha. So this Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, this is the most important aspect of bhakti. Of course, after Sadhu Sangha is Bhajan Kriya, one has to do his bhajan. But without Sadhu Sangha, one cannot make progress. So to serve him in Krishna consciousness, so one can be Krishna conscious, even if he understands only little or whatever, maybe has some curiosity, some little faith, and then he comes in contact with some sadhus and sadhus, whatever the sadhus say, he tries to do it. And this is how we make progress. Slowly. And the sadhu says, okay, do bhajan kriya. Bhajan kriya means lots of things. Study of scriptures, chanting, service, everything comes under bhajan kriya. So then when he starts doing it, and then he starts doing, Krishna reveals himself little bit. As we surrender, he rewards us accordingly. He says that. And then we start enjoying it because we are getting more realizations. Faith is getting stronger. And then Krishna gives more realizations. And that's how we make progress. So to know him fully, that's impossible. It cannot be done. He just reveals himself to us to the extent we have surrendered unto him. But what happens in general in the material world? Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani samoham sarge yanti parantapa. Ocean of Bharat, the conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. All living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. So this is our problem. The real constitutional position of the living entity is that of subordination to the Supreme Lord, who is pure knowledge. When one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, he becomes controlled by the illusory energy and cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, so somehow or other we got deluded. How? That doesn't matter how. It just, we are here in the material world, we are deluded, we are struggling, and as Krishna said, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. We're going through all this. So point is to how to go back. But to, if we have proper knowledge and work on it, then we can make progress in going back. But right now, we are controlled by the illusory energy and cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The illusory energy is manifested in the duality of desire and hate. So what does it mean? Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord and envies Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So wants to become one with the Supreme Lord. So that can also mean for Nirakarvadis when they say we all are one, we all have forgotten who we are, and then when we understand, realize who we are, we'll become God. Or even the karmis. What is their point of becoming one with the Supreme Lord is we want to enjoy like the Supreme. See, we all work very hard to make good living so we can have good money and lead a comfortable life. But nobody wants to die, so means we want to become immortal also. That is not possible. Nobody wants to become old, so we want to remain eternally young, like Krishna. It's not possible. Nobody wants to be diseased. We want to remain inexhaustible, like Krishna mentioned that word. It's not possible. So desire is there. And then when somebody has more money, more opulence, he wants to become deathless also. Then they try to figure out so many things. There was somebody, I'm forgetting his name, very, very rich man. I guess it was Rockefeller, but I'm not 100% sure. So in his will, he asked his successors to freeze his body, to protect, preserve his body, dead body, so that when in future scientists figure out how to make everybody immortal, they'll put life back in this body. What nonsense. So even if somebody becomes immortal, which is not possible, why do I want the same body again? I mean, this body is old, diseased. Not every part is working properly. Why would I want the same body again? Why? I would rather take a new body. And that Krishna's energy, Krishna's nature gives new body at the time of birth. But these people, because there's so much of delusion is there. This is what the biggest terrorist of the universe, Hiranyakashipu, wanted. He didn't want to die. Because he wanted to become immortal as God, as Vishnu. So this is our desire. And envies Krishna as a Supreme Personality Godhead. The envy is there. Envy because Krishna is the only one. Oh, not just Krishna is the only one. All the Vishnu Tattvas, they don't die. They just live forever. They are in this body. They are this body. But people don't understand. We can also attain that spiritual body. The process is different. And for sure, we are not going to become God. But those who understand the path of devotion, they can become even greater than God. By God's mercy, Krishna's mercy, they can become greater. A devotee controls Krishna, not with the intention of controlling him, but he controls by his love, but not by force. You cannot control him by force. But this is the desire, or this is the program of the living entity, illusory illusion to conditioned living entity. Pure devotees who are not deluded or contaminated by desire and hate can understand that Lord Shri Krishna appears by his internal potencies, but those who are deluded by duality and nations think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is created by material energies. So those who are deluded by duality and nations ignorance, they think that the Supreme Lord is created by material energies. This is their misfortune. Such deluded persons symptomatically dwell in dualities of dishonor and honor. That is a duality. Dishonor and honor, misery and happiness, women and men, good and bad, pleasure and pain, etc. Thinking, this is my wife, this is my house, I'm the master of this house, I'm the husband of this wife. These are the dualities of delusion. Those who are so deluded by dualities are completely foolish and therefore cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So those who are deluded by these dualities, and these dualities, Dvandva, is based on what? I'm this body. And when we think we are this body, we go through pleasure and pain of the body, and misery and happiness, honor, dishonor. Soul has nothing to do with all this. Loss or gain, these are all dualities of it. And we are stuck. We don't want loss, we only want gain. When loss comes without us asking, so gain will also come without us asking. All we have to do is just work, keep on working. But then again, because we are in the material world, these delusions, they will happen. And as Krishna says, everybody is born into delusion, bewildered by dualities. Sarvabhutani samoham sargayanti paranta. So this is how he has created the material world. And this is how he has created the bodies that we get as living entities. But still, because we don't have knowledge of this, we don't want to get out of this material world. That's our problem. We all, those who don't want to perform devotional service, oh, sab chalta ji, aise hi chalta, yehi zindagi hai, yehi hai. No. Okay, Krishna has created it, but he is also showing the path to get out of it. That is what we have to follow. It's just like if the president of a country, he is visiting a jail, prison house, and he's a president. He can give liberation to anybody. He can set any prisoner free. But he comes to visit the prison house, and all the other authorities are with him, jailer and the security guards are there with him. And he goes to every prisoner, and the prisoner says, oh, sir, you have visited. I'm very, very much in suffering here. So please, can I have a better bed so I can sleep on it properly? Or if I can have better meals in the prison house, or at least put a window on my wall so I can see outside. But Most intelligent prisoner would be, oh, sir, please set me free, get me out of this prison. I don't want to stay here. But this is what our problem is. We are in the prison house. We don't see our shackles. That's a different story. We are in a prison house, and all we desire, oh, please make my room, my prison cell, a better cell. Give me more comforts, but keep me in the prison cell. Put TV in my cell. Put fridge in my cell. Put internet. Can I have internet in my cell? I don't want to get out of it. Whether it is due to ignorance or whether it is due to desire, somebody, people generally they are. That's what Bhagavad Gita Krishna says. They're foolish, rascals, mudas. Real intelligence would be, how can I get out of it? Why should I keep on suffering here? Whether I go from third class prison cell to first class prison cell, I'm still in the prison. But throughout our life, we are only trying our best to gather more and more comforts to stay in this prison house. That's all we are trying. Isn't that foolish? And with lesser efforts, one can get out of the prison house. Just as when the president has come, one just has to please him and tell him, please take me out. And this is what Krishna does. He comes, not just he comes, he sends his devotees, his associates, he sends scriptures telling us how to get out. Would the president of a country, when he goes to visit a jail, would he give a manual how to break through from the jail and get out? No. But here, Krishna, through Bhagavad Gita, is telling us, get out of here. But those who are less intelligent, knowledge stolen by illusion, they just want to worship different demigods and want to stay in the prison. That's why even Prabhupada said, not that 100% of people, population going to become Krishna conscious. That's not going to happen. But we just try. We just keep on trying. That's all. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions?
Nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata. Chali, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.